Important part of this game is at all times conform to accepted standards, good sportsmanship, and behavior. Spectators shall at all times respect officials, coaches, and players, and extend all courtesies to them. Stamping of feet, taunting, foul, and abusive language, inflammatory remarks, and disrespectful signs and behaviors are not acceptable. Spectators shall observe and obey the rules and regulations of the school concerning smoking, food and soft drinks, consumption, use of bathroom facilities, and parking of cars. Spectators shall respect and obey all school officials, supervisors, and police at all athletic contests. Violators of this code are subject to eviction from the area. Now please rise if able and playing our national
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to you live from Cold Spring Harbor High School, getting ready for a big-time boys lacrosse rivalry matchup between the Cold Spring Harbor Seahawks and the Huntington Blue Devils. Travis Quigley joined by Ellis Joshua. Ellis should be a great matchup with two teams who have had really hot starts to this season as we enter the halfway point and that stretch towards playoffs. They both want to make a statement here Monday night under the lights.
Yeah, you said it, Travis. Two teams that are off to a really good start to the season, and this is a good old-fashioned rivalry matchup between Cold Spring Harbor and Huntington. So these two teams, they get together every year, and last year's matchup went in favor of the Blue Devils. So this year, Cold Spring Harbor here on their home turf, looking to change the tide and have a little get back this year. But two teams that are definitely poised for contention as we hit the home stretch here of the regular season.
Huntington making the short drive over today, coming into the contest, 8-1 record, Suffolk County Conference A. They'll be wearing the navy blue uniforms with the silver numbers, silver Huntington across their chests, white trim there. They'll be going right to left during the first and third quarter of this game on your screens. For Cold Spring Harbor, the Seahawks, they'll be wearing their white uniforms, 7-3. Coming into this game, representing Nassau County Conference D, looking to make another push for a New York State title. They'll be wearing the white uniforms, blue numbers, red CSH, across the front, and red trim on the numbers of their uniforms. They'll be going left to right, first and third on your screens. I want to thank you so much for joining us for this LILJ Gait Game of the Week. Just about ready for the opening face-off. Once again, Travis Quigley and Ellis Joshua here to take you through this one. Ellis should be expecting a really fast-paced back-and-forth game between these two teams today.
Yeah, absolutely. These are two teams that, again, a rivalry matchup. Both teams want to get off to a strong start as we have the opening face-off here between Luca Cuozo of Huntington and Alex Vitale of Cold Spring Harbor.
Still on the ground, finally scooped up, and it's the Seahawks on their home turf who will take the opening possession. It was Cole Newman, the long pole, who scooped up the GB, and now he'll still carry it over the 50 now. being defended by Parker Wands. Ball knocked free. The two number 4s will battle, and it's the Blue Devils who get the GB. Chase Gadare back on the ground once more, recovered by Cole Newman. Pass to the middle, knocked to the ground. Ball hits the ground. Both sides still fighting for possession here, and coming away out of the sea of bodies, it's the Huntington Blue Devils with numbers. A quick pass over. Now a shot. They score! 48 seconds into this game, and Huntington take a 1-0 lead.
And how about the Blue Devils off to the quick start? And it's Tommy Klein with the assist, as he was the one that dug up that ground ball, and the goal scored by Timmy McDonald, number 17, to get the Blue Devils on the board first. But Travis, what an effort for that ground ball, which ultimately went to the Blue Devils, and they were able to take advantage and get out in transition.
About 8 bodies over there, 4 on each side. And like you said, Klein comes out with the GB, takes it down the field, a good heads-up pass, and a great shot from Timmy McDonald to get his 22nd goal of this season, give the Blue Devils an early lead. It's Cold Spring Harbor who will win the ensuing face-off and take possession here. This is now, we'll call this their first offensive set, because now they get a little bit of controlled possession here, Ellis. Last time it was really up and down, back and forth. Huntington able to take advantage after some good defense, knocking the ball free. What can the Seahawks do here?
Yeah, this is where Cold Spring Harbor, they definitely want to settle in here after that first possession was really kind of helter-skelter and never really getting a clean offensive possession. So this is where you just kind of want to get situated and get your offense off on the right foot with your first true possession.
20 on the shot clock, ball at X. Spin move, now coming out front. We get a whistle, and ball going back to the Blue Devils.
Yeah,
I believe Bauer stepped in the crease there.
Yeah, it looked like in the crease was the call. Tough turnover there for the Seahawks, an unforced error.
You see early on, it's going to be interesting how the Seahawks play Huntington through their offensive sets, because you saw Huntington in that zone, keeping everything on the outside, not allowing much through the middle. Still in the early going. Could be a bit of a chess match between these two teams today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that one of the things that the Blue Devils will like to try to do more often in this game is try to take advantage and get out in transition, because Cold Spring Harbor, led by Coach Dennis Bond, they're a team that is always heavily reliant on their defense. They always have one of the top defenses on the island, a team that's very tough to score on. So if Huntington can really take advantage, maybe push in transition, also if you get man-up opportunities, got to take advantage there as well. That should be a key for the Blue Devils on offense.
Klein had an ISO up top. His shot went wide, and on the ensuing restart, a firing shot went through. Thomas Smith couldn't bury that. A nice save there from Matty Kammer, but a turnover forced almost. Still on the ground.
Love the activity. Love the activity by the Blue Devils on the ride. Almost coming up with another turnover right there.
Sam Bruno gets the ground ball, clears for the Seahawks, and now CSH will have an opportunity once again to tie this game. 8:55 remaining here in quarter number 1. 1-0 game in favor of Huntington. Ball is up top. Rex O'Connor slowing things down here. Move it off to the right side. Kevin Burns near side here. Kick back across. Seahawks working clockwise now. And quick ball movement here for Cold Spring Harbor as they look for an opening. From outside in, now back outside with a quick pass. Daniel Toohey mishandling that feed and trying to recover as Burns winning the battle. Thomas Smith, he scoops the GB. Now he's off to the races. Phenomenal defense in the early going here for Huntington, Ellis.
Yeah, really nice defensive stance by the Blue Devils. Tough, unable to handle that one by Toohey. And credit to Thomas Smith all over that, coming up with that ground ball as we have a stoppage here. Looks like they have to adjust the shot clock.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. So quick reset. Huntington bench early on. Heard them a lot, Ellis, too. They're very lively. Definitely you could tell these two teams excited to be playing this rivalry matchup as a quick shot comes through just wide there. Colin Lennon took that one for Huntington. They win the foot race. They'll keep the rock. Quick start, Jack Kamenstein. Defended by Bauer. Kamenstein spins out front, shoots and scores. Kamenstein gets his 23rd on the year, and it's 2-0 for the Blue Devils.
And how about the sniper there by Jack Kamenstein? And he does a really good job of just taking advantage of the short stick matchup.
Spins out
able to just kind of use that foot speed and explosiveness to get a step on his man and create that space to fire in a rocket for Huntington's second goal of the game and a 2-0 lead.
You said it perfect, Alice. Explosive foot speed, especially coming out of X there. One-on-one, a nice move out to the front, and no mistake on the shot. Perfect accuracy there. See who comes away with this face-off. Still on the ground, and Huntington scooped up. Parker Wands, the long stick midi. Gets control for the Blue Devils.
Nice ground ball there by Wands. Another one of those plays where both teams battling for possession, and in a game like this, you can see every possession being so crucial. And just kind of talking about, again, the matchups between these two teams. So last year was Huntington getting that win relatively handily by a score of 10-4, but in the 2 years prior, it came down to the final seconds and a one-goal game.
Great save there from Matty Kammer on a jumping shot from Tommy Klein.
And so definitely you can see this one potentially going right down to the wire here once again. So every possession so vital.
Quick ball movement here from the Blue Devils. They look for another opening, trying to extend their lead. Pass to Klein goes wayward. Can he catch up to it? Just gets there in the nick of time to hold it in bounds. 40 on the shot clock for Huntington. Trying to cut middle, quick pass. Bounce shot over the net. Colin Lennon was looking for his 20th.
So far, a nice defensive stance by the Seahawks. Still have to hold up here for about 25 more seconds on that shot clock.
Huntington looking for another opening. Pass out front, they score! Luca Cuozzo, 3-0 Blue Devils.
Shot clock. How about the start here by the Huntington Blue Devils? Cuozzo giving them their third goal of this first quarter.
Pass out
and how about the dime drop by Colin Lennon on that assist? A great look inside, and Cuozzo with the catch and finish as he took care of the rest.
Lennon just tied McDonald for the team lead in assists this season, and like you said, dropping a dime. That was a beauty right there. Great cut to the net by Cuozzo. It's his 28th goal of the season, and Huntington off to a great start here in quarter number one. 6:18 to play. The Seahawks take the face-off, trying to move quickly here. Pass over to Testa. That's Ray. He gets it right back. Ray wearing number 39. Roger wearing number 24. Pardon me, Roy Testa.
And this is definitely a spot where Cold Spring Harbor, they could really use a goal here, as we're now inside of the 6-minute mark in the first quarter. And you definitely don't want to fall too far behind here, because this Huntington team is definitely fired up and off to a hot start in this first quarter.
And you even see there, Ellis Bauer thought he had the space to step into a shot, and as soon as he lets it go, contact on the stick, ball goes sailing over the net. Seahawks stay with a quick pass, and Testa's shot stopped up. A beautiful save right there from Will Fallon on Roy Testa.
A sliding save there by Will Fallon. Nice job getting his foot on that one. And Fallon, who's having a tremendous season thus far for the Blue Devils, over 63% in saves, and coming up with another one on that shot by Testa.
His pass almost was intercepted there by Pace, who is stepping up on the play. It'll stay with Huntington here. Clear successful. And now they'll get to work offensively. Fresh shot clock. And it's a 3-0 game. 5 minutes to go in the first.
So if you're the Blue Devils, again, you definitely have to like the start that you're getting off to in this game. And Cold Spring Harbor, a team that is definitely filled with grit and toughness. Don't expect them to be phased by this 3-0 deficit. So
Big collision right there.
Yeah, for sure. For Huntington, you want to keep your foot on the gas. And looks like we're going to have a timeout here taken by the Blue Devils by Coach Watts. Looked like there could have possibly been an over and back, but instead it's Huntington getting that timeout. Their first here taken in the first half.
It was close, and that's a strategic timeout from the Blue Devils right there with a 3-0 lead, 4:35 to go. And we'll stick with you here throughout this timeout for you guys at home. We get a good look at Cold Spring Harbor now. And Ellis, while we get a shot at them on the screen right now for our viewers at home, what do you think the message is to the team right now? Obviously, a lot of lacrosse still to be played, but Huntington, strong defensive stance in the early going. What do you think the Seahawks got to do to kind of break them down a bit?
So I would say one of the things that I think they'd be looking to do is just kind of relax and get settled in. They've had a couple of unforced turnovers, like the crease violation, a mishandle on a pass that should have been caught. So I think it's just being able to settle down and just relax and just get into the flow of the game, but also simultaneously, I think Huntington, they've done a really good job thus far of coming up with those 50-50 ground balls, which has also made a difference in the start of this game. So if Cold Spring Harbor can find a way to turn the tide on those 50-50 balls, that'll also help them in going a long way in this game.
Still a lot of lacrosse to be played in the first quarter, 4:35. There's 31 seconds on the shot clock. As we'll restart, Colin Lennon with the rock. A quick sprint to the net, but he fires wide. Trying to get going early there, looking to make it 4-0. Coming right out of that timeout. Blue Devils keep the rock. Quick pass, and it comes right back to X. Klein fakes, rolls middle, shoots, and scores! What a snipe from Tommy Klein. 4-0 for Huntington. Back to X.
What a shot there by Tommy Klein. And that's just a great shot. You mentioned the fake, Travis.
Fakes,
nice job just giving
middle,
a little fake, a little hitch,
and
being able to create a little more separation, getting his hands free, and finishing on that high heater for his first goal of the game. And Huntington, again, can't say enough about the start that they've gotten off to. Out now to a 4-0 lead here with just over 4 minutes remaining in the first.
It's a great shot there from Klein. He's up to 12 goals now as we have a battle here commencing for this face-off. Scooped up but quickly knocked out of the stick of Alex Vitale, and Huntington control once again.
Yeah, and that's another one of those plays where looked like Cold Spring Harbor may come up with that possession, but the ball knocked free, and Huntington winning that face-off. So another one of those 50-50 plays that goes in favor of the Blue Devils.
Huntington certainly came to Cold Spring Harbor High School today with a lot of energy, fired up for this one. You've heard them all night long. They've been very, very loud, very vocal here on the sideline. And they have a 4-0 lead with under 4 to go in quarter number 1. They'll restart here under 30 on the shot clock now. Klein sets a pick right. Now pass for Lennon. Lennon with a little spin move, jumps and fires a bounce shot and goes off a leg in front. Believe that hit Andrew Hodge-Andreas. Back with Lennon.
Tough shot there by Lennon, but Smith able to keep the possession alive, but now it's thrown away out of bounds. So this will, in fact, be going back to the Seahawks. So definitely the defensive stance that they needed. Now let's see if they can clear up the field and capitalize on the offensive end to break their seal.
Like you said, Alice, the defensive stop they needed. Can they build some momentum from this? Starts with a clear right here as it's worked back to Matty Kammer. He'll send it back wide. Ulico pushes it ahead. Clear successful. And now what will the Seahawks do with this offensive possession? Controlling the rock, Dylan Riley.
Yeah, and if you're Cold Spring Harbor, definitely want to try to get your heavy hitters involved in this game. Alex Bauer, the midfielder, committed to Michigan. Kevin Burns on attack, committed to Stevens. The sophomore, Roy Testa, definitely have a number of players that are able to play make and create for this offense. It's just about being able to get them involved and get them quality shots, as we see another save made by Fallon.
Yeah, Riley made a nice move left there, got that quality shot on, but Will Fallon keeping that door closed here in the first quarter. Great save made, and taking control now will be Parker Wands. He'll work it back to Fallon. Fallon in the middle of the field starts to jog forward slowly, waiting for an outlet pass, and goes right back to Wands with it. Wands forward. Thomas Smith cuts one more time and now comes to the middle of the field. Klein, fresh shot clock, and about 2 minutes to go.
And I got to say, credit to Huntington thus far. Just looking very poised, very under control, very organized on the offensive side of the field. And again, can't say enough about the defense and what they've done so far here in this first quarter.
Kamenstein trying to make a move. It's knocked out of his stick. We get a whistle call, and it's going to the Seahawks.
And as I say that, they turn the ball over. Might have been the announcer jinx right there.
O'Connor gets over the 50, takes a couple of tough checks. We get a quick whistle, timeout called by Cold Spring Harbor.
So Coach Bond using his first timeout here in the first half. And I definitely understand the timeout called. Could have been a turnover that they avoided by taking this timeout. And again, I think it's just about being able to get organized on offense. Again, they've had a little bit of some issues here thus far, taking care of the ball. And so getting this offensive possession here with 1:35 remaining in the first quarter and 60 seconds on the shot clock to work with once they clear, you can kind of play for what could possibly be a final shot towards the end of the first quarter. And if you can score a goal here within these final 90 seconds of the quarter, it can give you some momentum going into quarter number 2.
Like you said, O'Connor did the hard part. Got it up the field. You get the timeout called. A lot of pressure on him, so you call that timeout before a potential turnover gets forced with numbers on him defending very tightly. Seahawks now an opportunity, like you said, Coach Bond, bring the group together. 90 seconds of game time, 60 seconds fresh on the shot clock. Plenty of time to work with here. You can draw something up, work it around, and wait for that right opening. But I would agree with you, Ellis. It's important to try to get at least one before we hit the end of the quarter.
Yes, absolutely.
Huntington's been buzzing here in the first. We got a $1:35 remaining. Can the Seahawks get on the board here with this possession? Off the restart, it'll be Alex Bauer. Bauer, the third leading goal scorer for this Cold Spring Harbor team. He'll quickly move it into Sam Bruno. Right back to Bauer, now over McKean. McKean mishandled the pass, scoops it right back up. One more time with McKean. Now for Bauer. Again, that Huntington bench very, very vocal. You can hear it from the press box up top. Firing a shot, save made. Ball still loose, up off the ground, scooped up. Again, it's Parker Wands. He's been all over the GBs today. And now Huntington gonna call their second timeout. Ellis, Parker Wands.
Yes.
Incredible with the ground balls today. I feel like we've said his name a lot through the first 11 minutes of this game.
Yeah, you said it, Travis. Parker Wands, he's been all over these ground balls here in the first quarter for Huntington, which has absolutely made a difference in them being able to jump out to this 4-0 lead. So they get the defensive stop that they were looking for to keep the shutout alive in the first quarter. Now you get the ball up to your offense, and interesting call by Coach Watts taking his second timeout. So they're out of timeouts now for the remainder of the first half, with him using both here in this first quarter. But my thinking is that Coach Watts, he sees an opportunity for them to get one more here before the end of this first quarter. And if you can go up 5-0, I mean, as if you don't already feel good about the start that you're off to, but you'll feel even better if you can cash in one more here to wind down this first quarter. So trying to diagram something out of this timeout here to get them a quality shot on offense.
A goal would certainly be a big exclamation point to end this first quarter. There's 58 seconds left in the first, so we can shut that shot clock off. We'll see what Huntington comes up with coming out of the timeout. Again, Coach Watts has used both here in this first quarter, so he's done for the first half with timeouts. We won't get to use another one until we get to quarter number 3. On the restart, it'll start with Colin Lennon. Get the whistle, and Lennon goes, defended by Cole Newman. He'll make a quick pass, and now it's worked back to X. Over to Klein, near side of the field. He starts to roll middle, pick coming right. He's going to go left instead. Back down low with it. Cuozo, quick ball movement here from the Blue Devils. Cuozo gets it back for Klein. They both have one I'm sure they would like to add to their tally today. 30 seconds to go. Klein once again. You see Huntington taking their time. They know they have the last shot. Klein starts working net, moves it to Cuozo. Up top, rolling middle. Trying to find a shot lane, defended tightly by 2. Now knocked to the ground is Tim McDonald, and the ground ball scooped up, turnover forced. McKean off to the races with 5 seconds. He'll throw it to the middle of the field. Don't think the Seahawks will get a shot attempt, but they're happy with that, Ellis. A defensive stand in the final minute, keeping it 4-0, and an opportunity to carry that defensive stand over as momentum into quarter number 2.
Yes, have to credit Brady McKeon for the defensive stance there by Cold Spring Harbor to end that first quarter. You don't want to give up any quality shot opportunity to fall behind by 5. So McKeon, nice job there, forcing that turnover just to hold up there on that final defensive stance for the Seahawks to keep it at 4-0.
We'll take a quick pause here. You're watching the LILJ Gait Game of the Week right here, powered by the LI Sports Network. Coming back for quarter number 2, the Huntington Blue Devils 4, Cold Spring Harbor Seahawks 0. Travis Quigley and Alice Joshua here for the LILJ Gait Game of the Week at Cold Spring Harbor High School. And Alice, big first quarter from the Blue Devils, offensively, defensively, checks across the board. They did a great job as they win the opening face-off to start quarter number 2, and they look to make it 5-0. Seahawks had a great defensive stand in that final minute there. They're going to need another one in this opening minute.
Yeah, definitely a complete first quarter put together by the Huntington Blue Devils, and a nice job by Cuozo winning that opening face-off here in quarter number 2. So Huntington, they have a chance to add to this lead. And if you're Cold Spring Harbor, again, you just want to stay within reach. Down 4-0 right now. You're still just a run away from getting right back into this game. But it's going to start here on the defensive end, being able to come up with stops.
Pass to the backside. Unable to get a shot through. Looking for the swim move. Unsuccessful. Lennon fell out of his stick. And it's scooped up by the Seahawks, but it's going to stay with the Blue Devils.
Home crowd not liking the call here, but this stays with Huntington, like you said, Travis, and it gives them a fresh 60 to work with on the shot clock.
And like you said, fresh shot clock for the Blue Devils, more time to work with, more time to burn, but more time to potentially find some holes here in the Seahawks defense. As again, they look for their 5th of the game. Cold Spring Harbor looking for a big defensive stand here, then looking to turn the tide, get their offense going downfield. Teams have also switched sides on your screen. Seahawks going right to left this quarter. The Blue Devils left to right. Trying to beat 2, drive to the cage, knocked to the ground. Tim McDonald gets the pass off, though.
Good defense there by number 50, Sam Bruno.
15 on the shot clock. Back at X. McDonald takes another hard check, loses his helmet, flag thrown.
So the flag there.
Looks like it's on Hunter Ulico.
And this will once again keep the ball with the Blue Devils. As our officials discussing the call.
And it's been all Huntington to start this second quarter as well. They've had 100% of the possession. About a minute 40 into it. Got a window cracked here. Let's see if Ellis and I can hear the call from the official. We're not too far from field level here today. The official now just explaining to Coach Bond of the Seahawks. 1 minute for cross-check, looks like the call was. So again, reset on the shot clock, Ellis. 1 minute, it's Ulico who took the penalty. And now, man up, Huntington continuing to keep the rock, looking for another goal.
Yeah, and this is a golden opportunity for the Blue Devils. Already with the 4-0 lead. Now a man-up situation here early in the second quarter. So Huntington looking to capitalize on the CSH penalty.
Slowly working it around, just trying to find the opening. McDonald moves it back. Rosa, McDonald. Huntington working a little bit quicker now. Trying to slide the Seahawks defense around. Ulico back in 15 seconds. Lennon, no shot lane. Now it's McDonald. Spins, ball knocked free. Still on the ground. Battle, back on the ground. And it's the Seahawks who will take it.
How about the defense for Cold Spring Harbor by number 47, Sam Davis. That's a big defensive stance, man down for Cold Spring Harbor. Now looking to clear the ball up to their offense.
Huge stop right there for the Seahawks. And they will clear successfully. McKean's going to have to spin back, though. He's going to wait just a second. Allow some subs to come in. It's Alex Bauer who steps onto the field now, and he'll take the rock, kicks it over to the right side for Rex O'Connor.
And, you know, plays like that, Travis, those are the things that can kind of galvanize a group and change the tide, change the momentum of a game. You're down 4-0, and you get a stop man down. Now if you can turn that into a goal, let's remember that stop if Cold Spring Harbor starts to spark a rally here in this quarter.
Now, do you think the Seahawks try to go for a quick shot here, or do they work the shot clock down? As my question gets answered, a quick shot right there from Bauer. Goes off a body in front, out of bounds, stays with Cold Spring Harbor. My question, Al, is do you think because do you think they sense any pressure being down 4-0, they got to work quickly here, or do you think that they feel maybe they can slow this thing down, play it at their pace?
I still think you're in a position to play at your pace at this stage in the game.
Great goal right there. What a shot. Roy Testa and the Cold Spring Harbor Seahawks are on the board.
The sophomore, Roy Testa, he can add that goal to his highlight reel. What a finish, as he is fired up after that goal to get Cold Spring Harbor on the board for the first time here tonight. And we just talked about it, Travis. You get the stop on man down, and then on that ensuing possession on offense, you get the goal that you were looking for. Now down
to lead the Seahawks in the goal category. Ensuing face-off infraction there. It'll stay with the Blue Devils, who have been dominant in face-offs here today. Ellis, every time you and I do a game together, whether it's boys, whether it's girls, face-offs, draw controls, whatever it may be, we talk about it a lot, how imperative it is to win those, because that is your first form of possession. That is what generally, from what we've seen, dictates who wins or loses the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It is 100% a game changer. And got to credit the senior Luca Cuozo, committed to UMass. So far, he's had a decisive advantage in this game at the face-off X as they get another goal. Do the Blue Devils. It's Tommy Klein. It's his second of the game. So Huntington, they respond after Cold Spring Harbor gets on the board. And they jump right back in front by 4. Score now 5-1 Blue Devils.
And that's a great response from Huntington right there, wasting no time, just as we were talking about it. Face-offs, so critical, so crucial. Huntington wins another one. They get right to work, wasting little time. Klein sees the opening. He takes it and buries. It's now 5-1 with 7:34 to go in the second quarter. Tommy Klein, like Ellis said, gets his second of the night. And 4-goal lead is restored for Huntington. They win another face-off. This time coming away with it is Thomas Smith. Smith will work it back to Lennon. Lennon around now and holding on to it, slowing things down. Jack Kamenstein. And Huntington here, Alice. Now after that one, they get the responsive goal to restore their lead. Now it seems they don't feel pressure to work quickly here. Now it seems they're going to run some time a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And despite giving up that goal moments ago to Cold Spring Harbor, again, they got to like where they're at with the advantage that they've had at the face-off X. So even if your defense does give up a Cold Spring Harbor score, you got to like your chances if you're Huntington about getting the ball right back. And that's exactly what they were able to do, leading to the goal by Klein. And then they followed up with yet another face-off win.
Lennon in isolation defended extremely tightly. Now he's swarmed. He'll quickly pass it across. Now firing a shot. Great save from Kammer on Kamenstein.
Yeah, that's a really nice save by the sophomore, Matty Kammer. Keeping this a 5-1 game. But that does, in fact, reset the shot clock for Huntington. Oh, and is this ball going to go out of bounds? It does not.
Wayward pass. It was just held. Now it's scooped up, and the Seahawks take it. Timeout called. Roy Testa scooped up the ground ball. Coach Bond quickly signals to the official for the timeout. And now the Seahawks, offensive possession, an opportunity with 6:14 to go, 5-1 game. Still plenty of lacrosse to be played here, Ellis. What do you think the message is now? Final timeout for the Seahawks here in this first half. What do they got to do to build, try to close this gap?
Yeah, so that's a big-time ground ball by Roy Testa after an unforced turnover by Huntington. And Coach Bond, of course, very aware of taking that timeout, considering the position that Testa was in. And now it's just about being able to take advantage of those unforced errors. I think Cold Spring Harbor, they've done a little bit of a better job in this second quarter of kind of limiting the unforced mistakes that they had back in quarter number 1. And now it's just about, again, trying to be able to see the ball sneak through the net in your favor. And then if you can do that, then you can really start to turn the tide in this game. So if you just get one, then it's about how do we build off of that. So I think for Cold Spring Harbor, let's see what they come up with out of this timeout. Because if you can take advantage of that turnover, then that could potentially see the momentum in this game start to shift a little bit if you can start winning some face-offs as well.
We'll see what the Seahawks come up with coming out of this timeout here. Again, 6:14 to go. You're tuned in live. The LILJ Gait Game of the Week here at Cold Spring Harbor High School. The Huntington Blue Devils in the lead, 5-1. Travis Quigley and Ellis Joshua here taking you through the call. Our producer today, Rowan Loddick, and Wally Mitchell, the man on the cam. Seahawks working quickly here. A bounce shot goes wayward. Alex Bauer trying to find the back of the net. He was looking for his 14th on the year. 45 on the shot clock still. under 6 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and I think as well for Cold Spring Harbor, just got to continue to move the ball. Also try to take advantage of the short stick matchups as well. If you can get the switches that you're looking for.
Right off the post there. A great pick was set firing the shot, Kevin Burns, but he hits iron, and out come Huntington. GB was scooped, clear, successful. It was Chase Gadare.
Oh, and that was a great look by Kevin Burns. That one hitting the pipes. It was essentially in and out. A tough break there for the Seahawks on a shot that Kevin Burns, he'll definitely take any day of the week. Just a little bit of tough luck there, not being able to get that one through.
Huntington back to work, 5 minutes to go here in the first half. 4-goal lead for the Blue Devils. Kamenstein defended, taking a couple whacks there from Pace. He'll move the rock, and it's Klein on hat-trick watch. Klein driving the cage, moves it back to X. A quick fake, and now working out front. Cuozo, a pass and a save made by Matty Kammer. Another great stop from the sophomore netminder. Quickly moves it ahead, clear, successful. Seahawks trying to find a goal. Working back, closing down the space. The Huntington Blue Devils working as a unit right there defensively to slow things down and forcing the Seahawks to work back outside, Ellis.
Yeah, and that's a great job by Huntington, shooting the gaps and denying transition, because after a great save by Matty Kammer, he had the quick outlet to try to get Cold Spring Harbor some transition, but credit to the Huntington defense holding up and now forcing Cold Spring Harbor to operate here in the half field.
And we've seen that a lot today, where Huntington has really minimized that transition offense for the Seahawks. It comes back outside, trying to work middle. Now taking a shot, just missing there. Dylan Riley. It'll stay with CSH. 14 on the shot clock, 3:46 to go here in quarter 2. Off the restart. Back at X with Bruno. Bruno, pass middle, wide open, unable to fire it or receive the pass cleanly in front. Trying to get a number, believe that was McKean there. Took a check, which disabled him from receiving that pass clean, else we get a reset on the shot clock. Stays with Cold Spring Harbor.
Yeah, and I know Huntington, of course, they're just relying on instinct there, but the push not necessary because the ball ended up being dropped. So we would have just played on, and Huntington could have come away with that possession, but instead with the push, this one remains with Cold Spring Harbor.
And that was the first breakdown I've seen today, Ellis, from the Blue Devils defense, where we've seen a man wide open in front of the cage like that.
Yeah,
so see, Seahawks, they're starting to figure it out. They're starting to put the pieces together, the due process, as a shot will come from Roy Testa. He misses. It'll stay with Cold Spring Harbor. But again, Ellis, they're putting the pieces together a little bit more here, starting to figure out this Blue Devil puzzle.
Yeah, you can see they're starting to kind of break the defense just a little bit, getting opportunities, but just unable to cash in. But you can see that the offense looking to look a little bit more smooth for Cold Spring Harbor. Again, just trying to put the ball through the back of the net.
Burns' shot went wide. Like you said, maybe the Seahawks trying to be a little bit too fine here. Maybe go a little old school. Maybe find a bounce shot, something simple. With 10 on the shot clock, that's something simple. Quick pass, quick shot, and a quick goal scored. Roger Testa, 17th on the year. 5-2 game.
And how about the assist by number 17, Daniel Tui. Nice look to the cutting Testa. And Cold Spring Harbor, as we said, Travis, you could see the offense starting to gel just a little bit more here as we wind down quarter number 2. And that's a big goal for Cold Spring Harbor to get back within 3. Still 2:42 remaining here in the second quarter.
Big time goal right there from the Seahawks, trying to defend their home turf here in this rivalry matchup. Huntington, it was all them offensively in the first quarter, defensively as well. They made a big stand. Second quarter, you break it down, it's Cold Spring Harbor 2, Huntington 1 here in this 12-minute frame, and it's Cold Spring Harbor who will control this face-off after a battle of the rock kicking around on the ground a little bit.
Yeah, fight for that ground ball there. Great job by number 4, Cole Newman. But now the Seahawks.
Turnover forced. Huntington with a great chance, and they'll capitalize. Scoring the goal, Luca Cuozo. Blue Devils right back on the board.
And that Blue Devil bench fired up after forcing that turnover. And Luca Cuozo, he's showing more that he is more than just a face-off specialist. His second goal of the game here. And what a backbreaker for Cold Spring Harbor, as it looked like they did have the face-off won, but then just unable to get the ball up to their offense. Gotta credit Huntington doing a great job of being active for sure, and they were able to take advantage of the turnover.
Incredible display of effort to force that turnover after losing the initial faceoff. And now, Ellis, this could be a turning point in the game. How does Cold Spring Harbor respond? You score that big goal, you feel like all that momentum's coming your way, you win the faceoff, but then you turn it over, Huntington scores, and you hear them getting fired up. You can't let that deflate you. You got to stay in the game. Keep battling as Huntington controlled another face-off, but the Seahawks will force this turnover. This is what I mean. You got to stay in the game. You can't let that moment deflate you, and you can't allow that goal to be the turning point that sends it completely into the Blue Devils' favor.
Yeah, and that's a way right there to get back in this game, forcing turnovers. If you can deny the clean face-off wins for Huntington and make it scrappy, make it gritty, where you got to fight for the ground balls and potentially force a turnover like we just saw, that could be a recipe for Cold Spring Harbor getting back into this game.
Seahawks will work it around, just got a fresh shot clock. 50 seconds left on it, and we got 90 seconds to go. Splitting through 2, firing a bounce shot home. It's Alex Bauer. 6-3 game.
And the goals coming in a flurry now to wind down quarter number 2. Alex Bauer, the Michigan commit, with a big goal as CSH. They do, in fact, take advantage of the turnover. So they're now back within 3. And again, it's about here at the face-off X. Can they win a face-off? Maybe force another turnover, get another possession here with still 1:29 to go in quarter number 2. But that's a great response by Cold Spring Harbor after the goal scored by Cuozo moments ago.
Battalion Cuozo for the face-off. Like you said, big-time goal there from Alex Bauer. Splits through 2, and then had another 2 defenders closing in on him as he went to go fire the shot. Bounces it low past Will Fallon. It's Huntington who control the face-off. 6-3 game, $1:20 to go in the half. Now Huntington, they got to get a shot here. Can't hold to the end of the game clock. There's about a 25-second difference between shot and game clock currently. Klein fakes left, comes back right. Now a quick pass. Kamenstein wide open. He scores! Jack Kamenstein, no mistake there. It's 7-3.
So both teams exchanging goals here these final few minutes of the quarter. And Kamenstein, nothing but high heat on that shot on the feed there by Tommy Klein. And Huntington, you got to give them credit being able to answer these Cold Spring Harbor goals to keep this a 4-goal lead for the Blue Devils. They're doing a really good job of not letting the momentum kind of really roll over in favor of Cold Spring Harbor. They have an answer each time Cold Spring Harbor is able to score.
Like you said, every time the Seahawks have scored, the Blue Devils have responded, and there hasn't been much time between that either. They have not given the Seahawks much breathing room. Seahawks win this face-off, which is crucial for them here. Shot clock turned off. We're in the final minute of the first, but a turnover there, unforced. Ellis can't be having that if you're the Seahawks trying to battle back. Had a great opportunity right there for that last shot. Can the Huntington Blue Devils clear? I'd like to see the Seahawks get aggressive here, trying to force a turnover like we saw Huntington do just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, just a tough turnover there by Cold Spring Harbor. And I'm with you, Travis. If you can try to get aggressive, force a turnover, maybe get the ball back here as we're now at 25 seconds remaining. But Huntington, they're definitely going to be poised and not do anything to put the ball in harm's way and try to get a quality shot here to wind down the first half.
15 seconds, and it's Lennon. Works middle, now defended by 2. He'll pass it over. Ball hits the deck, scooped up off the ground. Kamenstein back to the middle, shoots, he scores! Tim McDonald, another one on the board for the Blue Devils with 3.6 remaining in the first half.
Huntington, what a way to end the second quarter. They force a turnover on one end and cash in on the other. And on the feed there, Jack Kamenstein, Blue Devils, they lead this one by 5 now as we wind down quarter number 2.
Biggest lead of the night for Huntington here, Ellis. And a big cap on the first half for them. Final face-off of the half, just worked back. One last shot thrown on goal. And we'll head to the break. 8-3 the score. Huntington leads over Cold Spring Harbor in this rivalry matchup. Before we go to break, we'll break it down quickly for you. We look at the stats here, Ellis. We'll start with the leading side, the Huntington Blue Devils. I'd like to talk about 2 players specifically. Tommy Klein, he's got 4 points already today, 2 goals, 2 assists. He's been factored in half of the goals for the Blue Devils, and we mentioned him a little bit earlier on. Parker Wands, maybe not doing too much offensively, putting up points, but he's doing all the little things right defensively. He's getting those GBs, man marking correctly. Let's talk about Huntington first before we work over to the Seahawks.
Yeah, 100%. Huntington, you've seen a balanced offensive performance here in this first half. We talked about Tommy Klein with his 4 points, 2 and 2. Also 2 goals from Luca Cuozo, 2 from Timmy McDonald, 2 from Kamenstein as well. So it's been a well-balanced effort on offense for the Blue Devils. And then we mentioned Parker Wands, the LSM, coming up with some big ground balls to give those 50-50 possessions in favor of Huntington. And Will Fallon in the net. He's come up with some timely saves. Again, they got to credit the Blue Devil defense for really making Cold Spring Harbor have to work. But Will Fallon in the net, he's done a steady job here in this first half.
And we'll work over to the Seahawks here. Didn't get any goals in that first quarter. Second quarter, responded offensively very well. As we said, started to put those puzzle pieces together, figuring out that Blue Devil defense. Put in 3 in that second quarter. Again, different scores for all 3 goals, getting some offense across the board. But what do you think that Cold Spring Harbor has to do to break down Huntington a little bit more? You talk often about those 50-50 battles. Do you think it's a matter of just winning more of those 50-50 battles, honing in maybe more defensively, offensively on a certain tactic? What do you think the Seahawks have to do here in the second half?
Yeah, well, I would definitely say winning those 50-50 ground balls is definitely going to be vital in the second half for Cold Spring Harbor. Again, also to the face-off X, it's been heavily in favor of Huntington. So if they can find a way to kind of turn the tide there as well, that's also a great way to get back in the game. But it's just Cold Spring Harbor, they've spent a lot of time playing defense due to Huntington being able to win those face-offs. So it might come down to them really being able to force some turnovers and takeaways to get the ball back up to their offense.
We've been treated to a great game so far here at Cold Spring Harbor High School between the Seahawks of Cold Spring Harbor and the Huntington Blue Devils. About 7.5 minutes left here in halftime, so we'll take a quick break. You take a quick break. We'll return in just a little bit with more high school lacrosse here. The Gait Game of the Week, LILJ, LISN, Travis Quigley and Ellis Joshua. Happy to be here to take you through the call. Don't go anywhere. More lacrosse coming right up. Dreaming of playing college lacrosse? Don't leave your future to chance. Top-tier recruiting gives you the roadmap. Whether you're in middle school, high school, or already getting recruited, Top Tier is the place to be to help you in your process. Led by former players and coaches, Top Tier provides webinars. Dreaming of playing college lacrosse? Don't leave your future to chance. Top-tier recruiting gives you the roadmap. Whether you're in middle school, high school, or already getting recruited, Top Tier is the place to be to help you in your process. Led by former players and coaches, Top Tier provides webinars, personalized guidance, and truth about the recruiting process. Monthly plans, premium access, and real results. And you can sign up today right here at toptierrecruiting.com. Coming back live for the LILJ Gait Game of the Week. Travis Quigley and Ellis Joshua here taking you through the call. Huntington 8, Cold Spring Harbor 3. We're coming to you live from Cold Spring Harbor High School. A dominant first half from the Blue Devils, looking to do much of the same. Seahawks looking to respond here in a matchup between two sides, Ellis, with both county and state championship aspirations.
Yeah, 100%. Cold Spring Harbor, as we mentioned earlier, Travis, at the start of this game, they are the 3-time reigning state champions of Class D. Huntington, they are looking to make some serious noise and a deep playoff run in Suffolk Class A. And they get the ball to start quarter number 3. And with Cold Spring Harbor facing this 5-goal deficit right now, you know, one of the things that I kind of look for in a game like this is how do you start the first 4 to 5 minutes of the second half, because that can really be an indicator as to how the game is going to unfold the rest of the way. So for Cold Spring Harbor, can they spark a rally here in the early minutes of quarter number 3, or will Huntington continue to assert themselves and build on this 5-goal lead?
Huntington continue their dominance at the face-off, Ellis. They keep the opening possession to start the half. Now a quick shot comes through, and Jack Kamenstein will score his hat-trick goal.
And Huntington, they are picking up where they left off. They strike first here in the third, and you said it, Travis. That's a hat trick for Kamenstein. He's 3-1 on the day, and this now the largest lead of the game for the Blue Devils, up 6.
Huntington continue to push it. Another goal in the opening minute of the quarter. They did it in the first, they did it in the second, they do it again here in the third. And you mentioned it, you talked about first 3, 4, 5 minutes for both sides. You know me, I'm a hockey guy, saying in hockey the most important minutes of the game, or each period in hockey, is the first minute and the last minute. So that's what I thought of when you had brought that point up. It's very similar here in lacrosse. Those opening 2, 3, 4 minutes are extremely, extremely crucial in each and every quarter. And you see Huntington, they've gotten each and every quarter started the right way, exactly how, for them, they want to be playing this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that defensive stance by the Blue Devils, after a face-off win for Cold Spring Harbor, Parker Wands coming up with the turnover. So even when Cold Spring Harbor has been able to win those few face-offs, just unable to really get anything going offensively because of turnovers.
Again, the Blue Devils just working the rock around, slowing things down here. No pressure to work quickly as Colin Lennon is defended by Newman. He'll work it back to X. Now it comes to McDonald. McDonald with the shot and a great save from Matty Kammer. Seahawks certainly needed that stop there. Kammer coming up big.
Yeah, just what Cold Spring Harbor needed, getting that save by Kammer. And they clear the ball up to their offense. Hunter Ulico.
And Ulico had it whacked out of his stick. He'll scoop the GB, and he'll quickly move it. It's Kevin Burns with the rock now. He's being defended by Patrick Hassett. Hassett not giving Burns any space here, so Burns will move the rock. Keeps working around. 2.5 played here in the third quarter. As Ellis mentioned, 6-goal lead, biggest lead of the game for Huntington. Seahawks trying to respond. Bauer rolling right, a quick spin move. Now we'll dish it, shot and a goal! Roger Testa, he gets his second of the game. Great ball movement from the Seahawks, and it's 9-4.
And the ball movement, Travis, the key there on this possession for Cold Spring Harbor. Bauer with the assist, the finish by Roger Testa, and that's what Cold Spring Harbor needed as they try to spark this rally. Down 5 now. Now let's see if they can win another face-off. But you said it, the second of the game for the senior Roger Testa.
And it was almost like the Seahawks kind of lulled the Blue Devils to sleep a little bit there with how well they were moving the ball around. Great job from Testa finding the opening in the middle of the field. No mistake on the shot at all. And a big goal right there for Cold Spring Harbor. They certainly could carry some momentum with a face-off win. They get it. It's Bauer. Another quick pass. Roy Testa backside, unable to receive it. and get a clean look was Daniel Toohey. It'll stay with the Seahawks, though, and that one off the noggin of Parker Wands. Ground ball picked up by Toohey. It stays with Cold Spring Harbor. Back on the deck, kicks across midfield, and it'll be now picked up and fired ahead by Dylan Riley. Seahawks trying to get back on offense, just 30 seconds on the shot clock now.
How about that sequence there, Travis? Looked like Cold Spring Harbor might strike again, but Parker Wands not just showing his ability on the ground ball, but also his ability blocking shots as well.
That was incredible. Just stood right there, took it right off the helmet. Bauer looking for a move, tries to spin, cuts back outside. 5 on the shot clock. Seahawks need something here. That goes wide from Toohey. 1 second on the shot clock for Riley. Whistle goes and just throws it away. So Huntington will take the rock. 8:06, third quarter. They'll make a couple of subs here as they look to get back to offense. 5-goal lead for the Blue Devils. Talked about it a lot. Big rivalry game between these two schools.
Huntington looking to make it back-to-back wins over Cold Spring Harbor. Cold Spring Harbor looking to return the favor after being defeated by the Blue Devils last year.
3 defenders closing on Wands. No problem for him, though. He continues ahead. Clear successful for the Blue Devils. And now they'll work into their offensive set here. Trying to hit double digits in a 9-4 game. Working it outside. Jack Kamenstein already with 3 goals here tonight. Under the lights in Cold Spring Harbor. Being worked around by the Blue Devils. Comes back to X. Now off to the near side once more. Kamenstein. Gets a pick right. Keeps rolling. Now fires. Big save. Matty Kammer. Another stop for him there. Came into this game with a 57% save percentage. He's made a couple of key stops for the Seahawks tonight.
Yeah, that's a good read on that shot by Kammer. All over that one.
Another unforced turnover here for Cold Spring Harbor. And the rock with Colin Lennon. And he fights off a check. Both Lennon and Roger Testa went down, and both benches get fired up here. Ellis, there wasn't enough excitement to this game already. You see the energy elevate there.
That will definitely get the juices going for everybody here at Cold Spring Harbor High School. The players, the fans, everybody fired up. Love the contact being seen right there. And Cold Spring Harbor getting a turnover, so they get the ball back. And sometimes it's those defensive plays, Travis, that can really fire up a team and galvanize a group. And let's see if it does that here for the Seahawks.
An opportunity to spark a rally here for Cold Spring Harbor. 6:15 to go in quarter number 3, down by 5. McKean gets an opening, shoots, and a save made. Will Fallon. Incredible stop right there by Fallon, and now he's going to take his time looking for the outlet. Moves it to his right side for Parker Wands. Wands avoids a stick check. Keeps strolling downfield, clear successful. And now he wants to get back to his post, so he'll kick the rock over to Schnitzer. A bounce pass for Kamenstein, and Kamenstein's going to settle it down here. 45 on the shot clock, 5:35 to go. Quarter number 3, both sides still have both timeouts here in this second half.
And going back to that save by Fallon moments ago, those are the saves that can really kind of keep Cold Spring Harbor at bay, as the momentum could have shifted there just a little bit in favor of the Seahawks, but a big denial by Fallon. Now Huntington looking to go back in front by 6 goals.
Klein with 17 on the shot clock is defended by Sam Bruno. Klein fakes right, goes left. He'll spin back right. Closed off by 2. Finds an opening, jumping shot. He scores. Hat-trick goal for Tommy Klein. 14 on the season, 6-goal lead restored.
Have a day, Tommy Klein, the senior committed to Loyola. You said it, Travis. That goal gives him a hat trick, and in total, he's now 3-2 in this game for 5 points. And he is just showing his offensive abilities in this game, but also a true do-it-all midfielder playing both ends of the field. And he's just had a tremendous game igniting this Blue Devils offense, responsible for half of their goals with 5 points.
50% of the goal contributions today for the Huntington Blue Devils, and like you mentioned, not just contributing offensively, doing it defensively as well, making a couple of big plays on the D side of the ball, picking up ground balls, making stops when necessary, and another face-off won by Huntington as they look to extend the lead. We've said it a few times, 6 goals the biggest lead. They just got that back. Can they make it 7? Seahawks trying to lock it down right here.
Yeah, and as we wind down here, approaching 4:30 remaining here in this third quarter, this feels like one of those gotta have it type of stops if you're Cold Spring Harbor.
Driving to the cage, Smith knocked out of his stick. Who's gonna scoop it up? 6 players battling for it, now 7. Make it 8, 4 on each side. Racing to try to keep it in unsuccessfully was Alex Bauer. Stays with the Blue Devils.
I like the effort there by Bauer, doing everything he could to try to save that ball from going out of bounds.
Oh, for sure. That was all hustle right there.
Yeah, and that's the type of hustle that you need in a game like this, down 6 goals. Doing everything you can to try to come up with extra possessions.
The beauty of lacrosse is there's still plenty of time left, and 6 goals is not insurmountable. We've seen it happen before, Ellis. Plenty of comebacks of that size. So Seahawks, said it a bit earlier, can't get deflated, can't hang their heads. They still have plenty of time to work with. A big defensive stop could help swing some momentum. A nice keep in there from McDonald. And we get a whistle from our far side official. It's going to go to Cold Spring Harbor. Ellis, did you happen to catch that call?
Yes, shot clock violation, actually.
Good call there. Ellis had his eye on it. I missed it. Seahawks with a chance. A bounce shot through for Riley, but it goes wide. It'll stay with Cold Spring Harbor, and Roy Testa moves it up top. O'Connor. He'll retreat back, looking for an ISO. Being defended by Smith. He'll work left. Cuts before making a pass. Roger Testa with the rock now. He's on hat-trick watch for CSH. Goes to ground, stays with the ball. He'll spin, fires. That one gets blocked, pops way in the air, about 30 feet. Takes a couple of skips, goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Seahawks.
And really good lockdown defense by Colin Lennon on that possession.
Bounce shot through and a save from Fallon. Another one there in this quarter. He's made a couple of stops to keep this lead for Huntington. Official blew the whistle there. It's going back to Cold Spring Harbor.
Yeah, trying to make out.
Might be a violation on Fallon.
Right, trying to make out exactly what the call was there.
So yeah, let's believe that was a violation on Fallon there. So again, it stays with Cold Spring Harbor. Ball knocked free, scooped back up and knocked to the ground and out of his stick. Tui couldn't hold on to the rock, but he forces a turnover. Flag is thrown. Officials blowing the whistle here, trying to avoid a bit of chaos.
Yeah, both teams definitely fired up right now, but cooler heads do prevail as we do have that flag down. So let's see what the call will be.
2:35 here in the third quarter. Officials coming together to talk about it. As Ellis mentioned, we'll see what the official call is. Official now coming over to the scorer's table will get the word.
So it looks like we have a 1-minute penalty on CSH, and this is going to be locked in. And looks like the penalty is on Roger Testa, number 24. So it looks like this is an unreleasable penalty on the Seahawks. So a tough break for Cold Spring Harbor, as it was getting very physical on the opposite end of the field, but CSH hit with the flag. So now they're man down, and Huntington can score here. And again, the penalty non-releasable on Testa.
And a wayward pass there for Huntington as they're working it around. McDonald was trying to find Lennon, skips past him, goes out of bounds. Now the Seahawks will take possession. Just 36 seconds left on the penalty to Roger Testa. So an opportunity here for Cold Spring Harbor to burn some clock, get Testa back, and respond with a goal. Working it up the field is Ulica, way out of the crease. Trying to help things out there was Kammer. Clear was successful. Fallon out of his crease trying to play it. Wands with another GB.
Yeah, and you had the shot there from distance by Ulica. Huntington able to come up with the ground ball as the penalty set to expire.
They clear. Testa comes back. Huntington still with possession here. $1:30 to go in the third quarter. Got about a 35-second difference between shot clock and game clock. We'll see how Huntington works this here. So it's back with Kamenstein. Kamenstein comes left, back to X. Rolling out front, shooting and scoring, tucking that home. Luca Cuozzo. Ellis, a little bit of deja vu. Another hat trick for the Huntington Blue Devils. Cuozzo, the third member of the team with a hat trick today.
Yeah, the hat tricks now coming in a flurry for the Blue Devils. Again, just seeing a really well-balanced effort on the offensive end. And once again, Luca Cuozzo showing that he's more than just a face-off specialist, showing the offense in his game, which he's done all season long, as he came into this game with 27 goals, which was good to lead the Blue Devils offensively. Add another 3 for him this evening, so he's up to 30 on the season.
And a big milestone right there for Cuozzo, hitting his 30th goal of the year. It's been a phenomenal campaign for him thus far. Ball still on the deck on the ensuing face-off, and who else but Cuozzo to scoop it up and get things going here for the Blue Devils. Final minute of the third quarter. About a 1-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
So Huntington likely to now just play for the final shot here of quarter number 3, as they again continue to build on that lead.
You see Klein just walking it back out to midfield. Like you said, just going to take their time here, hold it for that last shot.
Yeah, definitely the smart play here if you're the Blue Devils, as you'll feel like you're in a great spot going into the fourth. Right now up 7, potentially up 8 if they can get one more here inside of 20 seconds remaining.
See if Klein takes an ISO opportunity here on Newman. He drives right, quickly closed off with help from Bruno. He'll pass it now. Lennon comes back to the right side, gets a pick, pass to the middle. That one hits iron, scooped up off the ground. Alex Bauer, he'll fire the length of the field. Caught by Will Fallon. Horn sounds, 3 quarters down, 1 to go. And it's Huntington who lead this rivalry matchup by a score of 11-4.
Great third quarter by the Huntington Blue Devils. The way they played in that first half, and again, they've never trailed in this game, but the way they played in the first half, you had a comfortable lead at halftime, and now you've built on that. Now you've expanded that lead going into the fourth quarter. Up by 7, the Blue Devils, they can definitely see the finish line, but still 1 more quarter to play here. So it's just about continuing to do what they've done throughout these first 3 quarters. Winning faceoffs, winning the 50-50 ground balls, coming up with timely saves, and just doing a really good job all around in this game on both sides of the ball. 12 more minutes to play here, and the Blue Devils will come away with a win.
We're going to take a quick 30-second pause. We'll be back with you in just a brief moment for the fourth quarter here. LILJ Game of the Week, Huntington 11, Cold Spring Harbor 4. Coming back live for quarter number 4. Huntington with a commanding lead over Cold Spring Harbor. Travis Quigley and Ellis Joshua here on the call. Our producer Rowan Loddick and Wally Mitchell running the camera here tonight. Huntington from start to this point so far. Not going to say finish yet. We're not there just yet, Ellis, but from the start of this game to this point now, top to bottom, they've done all the little things the right way, and they're leading for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we've seen it really come to fruition, especially at the face-off X. It seems like every quarter that we've started in this game, the opening face-off has gone to the Blue Devils. So they've really been able to dominate the amount of possessions in this game, which has gone a long way in them being able to grab this 7-goal lead here in the fourth quarter.
And that's not even to say the Seahawks have played a bad game, because they haven't. It's just the Blue Devils and their execution has been a step above where the Seahawks have been able to execute at here tonight.
Right, and
we see a goal right there, another one for Tommy Klein. He can't be stopped here this evening.
Tommy Klein, he is on fire. His 4th goal of the game. The finish with the left. And again, nothing but heat on that shot.
You can't even blame Matty Kammer because it's coming in with so much heat, as you just said. You literally take the words out of your mouth. So much heat on that shot. Coming right at Kammer's head. What is he supposed to do there? It's a bullet coming right at him. And that's what you get. Tommy Klein, he's been sensational, not just tonight, all season long. There's a reason why he's putting up the numbers he has in this game and throughout the year.
Yeah, a 6-point effort for Tommy Klein with 4 goals and 2 assists. Really, he's been the engineer offensively tonight for the Blue Devils.
And again, not like Cold Spring Harbor's playing a bad game here. As we see a shot sail over the net, it'll stay with the Seahawks. It's just Huntington, their execution level has been a step above the level that Cold Spring Harbor has been able to execute at tonight.
Right, and I'm sure when you're down in a game 12-4, of course there's definitely things that you'd like to have back, things you'd like to do differently if you're Cold Spring Harbor. But again, you do have to credit the Huntington Blue Devils for the game that they've played here tonight, as we get a goal for the Seahawks. This one scored by Bauer.
That's a great take right there by Alex Bauer. Let's get another look at this here, Ellis. I mean, again, calls his own number, sees the opening left. Something you mentioned earlier with a couple of players on this field. That foot speed, he shows it off right there. And a pinpoint accurate shot to get the Seahawks on the board here in the fourth quarter, making it a 12-5 game.
Yeah, and that's where it's got to start for Cold Spring Harbor. You just got to think, get a goal, win a face-off, and then you just go from there. You see what happens. Again, we're still just inside of 11 minutes remaining here in the fourth. But again, Huntington.
Another GB.
Yeah, really, really in command at the face-off X.
It was Klein who came in to help Cuozo out on that face-off, scooped up the ground ball for the Blue Devils. Minute and a half in, and Huntington looking to control the pace of the rest of this game. And Ellis, when you look back at this game, if you want to look at you don't want to get into the nitty-gritty. You're going to look at it from an outside perspective, just looking at box score type stuff. You would probably look at this and see that the 4 goals for Huntington in that first quarter is what was really the separator and the difference maker here in this, the way that the Blue Devils started this contest out.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting, Travis, because...
Great save from Kammer.
Yeah, nice save there by Matty Kammer. You know, it's interesting because a lot of times they say it's not how you start, it's how you finish, but sometimes it is about how you start. And Huntington getting off to that 4-0 lead in the first quarter, as looks like we have another
forced turnover. Yeah,
again, got to credit the Huntington defense, as that turnover there created by Keegan Malone as he came up with the ground ball.
He's still with the rock, and now we get a whistle. Timeout called by the Blue Devils, and you get a shot right there. Wally Mitchell all over it with the camera work. You see how fired up Huntington is. The bench gets electrified right there as we come into the timeout. And Ellis, I've said it a lot, we've heard the Blue Devils all night long from warm-ups into the opening face-off, and they've been loud, they've been active, they've been vocal. And I think that plays a role into the game as well. When you have top to bottom your entire roster invested, and I keep saying it, they're loud, they're vocal, they're active, they're bringing the energy from start to finish.
100%. And again, the Blue Devils, after beating Cold Spring Harbor last year, looking to make it back-to-back. Again, this is a good old-fashioned crosstown rivalry. And even though this is a non-league game with CSH in Nassau and Huntington and Suffolk, this is a game that everyone involved has circled on their calendar each year. And if you're Huntington, who came into this game 8-1, you can make an argument that this could potentially be the best game that they've played all season. And obviously you've had to be playing pretty well when you're 8-1, but going up against the 3-time defending New York State champions in Cold Spring Harbor, and to put forth a commanding effort like this, you gotta feel great about where you're at right now, as you look forward to continuing the rest of your league games to close out the season.
I think the Blue Devils might be trying to work their way up the LILJ rankings.
Yes, that'll absolutely affect the rankings for sure if this score does in fact hold.
We've got 9:25 to go. As we all know, lacrosse is a game of runs. Still plenty of time for the Seahawks to work with. Need a big defensive stand here coming out of this timeout. It's up top with Lennon. Lennon being defended by the long stick, Matt Goya. A quick pass middle, trying to dive through was Klein. Pass was intercepted, dropped back to Kammer by Romano, and a long feed ahead. Here comes Alex Bauer. Bauer, plenty of space to work with, moves it to his right. O'Connor dishes, leaping shot goes off the bar and skips out of bounds. What a chance there for the Cold Spring Harbor Seahawks.
Oh man, a golden opportunity, pushing transition, and the look was there for sure, but it's just been that kind of night for the Seahawks. Even when they've gotten some great opportunities, we've seen a couple that have nicked the pipe or the crossbar, have gone in and out, and that's just the way it's been going tonight for the Seahawks.
And both teams have been so good defensively in transition. That was the best chance for either side we've seen offensively in transition so far tonight. And it rings the bar, goes out of bounds, stays with the Seahawks. Can they build off that opportunity and find a goal here to cut this lead down to 6? They are player up right now over Huntington. Ball hits the deck, goes out of bounds, and it'll be Blue Devils rock.
Yeah, you mentioned the man up, Travis, that Cold Spring Harbor is on, but unable to generate a shot there on the man up as they turn the ball over. And now it's Will Fallon who will look for his outlet.
Now the Seahawks going to try to force a turnover here while they still have the man up opportunity. Just 25 seconds left on it. It's with Wands. Wands holding on to it, but we get an offside called here on Huntington, so it's going back to Cold Spring Harbor. Seahawks got numbers here. Will they move quick? Pass to the middle. O'Connor, shot, save, Fallon still loose. Both sides trying to find it. Ball still free, and Fallon will recover it. We get a whistle push. It's going back to Cold Spring Harbor. 2 seconds left man up before Colin Lennon returns.
And we're going to have a reset on the shot clock here. So this will be a fresh 60 for the Seahawks.
7:48 to go here in the fourth quarter. The fake from O'Connor, no shot lane, so he has to work it back out. Lennon returns, we're even again, bounce shot wide. There to recover it though was Roy Testa. To Bauer. Bauer defended by 2. Works it up top, Bruno. No shot, good defense from Wands. Quickly closed him off. 30 on the shot clock and 7:15 to go here in regulation time of this game. Bauer, pass up top for Bruno. He'll fire, that gets blocked. Flexing a leg out there, getting in the way. Chase Gadare. That's sacrifice right there, Ellis.
Oh man, what an eat by Chase Gadare. And let's hope he's okay. He's definitely feeling that shot right now as he's going to make his way off the field. Just a little bit gimpy, but trotting off the field. Looks like he will be okay.
Yeah, he wore that one for sure. Daps all around as he comes off the field. All his teammates showing respect there. A lot of heart, a lot of guts to do that. Get in the way of a shot coming in with the speed that it was. Bauer with a spin move. He'll pass to Bruno. Bruno rolls right and fires, goes wide. Foot race 1 stays with the Seahawks. Getting there, winning the battle was Kevin Burns.
Yeah, but now just 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Knocked out a Burns stick. Shot clock expires, going to the Blue Devils. Great defense on the restart by Patrick Hassett. The stick check on Burns knocked the rock free and eliminated any opportunity for Cold Spring Harbor to get a shot off in that 4 seconds. Fallon moves it to the far side of the field. Hassett ahead for Klein, and Klein will jog with the rock, gets the clear. 6.5 remaining. McDonald comes to the near side now, and he'll work it up for Connor Fox. Fox to Smith. Smith's going to be defended here by O'Connor. He'll work to the left side. Just crisp ball movement here for Huntington. Back with Fox. Another pass. That goes wayward and out of bounds. Went right over the head of Cuozo. 5:55 to go. Seahawks take possession.
So a good defensive stance there by Cold Spring Harbor. Again, inside of 6 minutes remaining, but you play till the buzzer sounds.
They were starting to get to that point where the clock, Seahawks are going to have to pay attention to that more. Comeback still possible, but you need goals quickly here. And
yeah, it looks like
we got a turnover forced here. It's going back to Huntington, Ellis.
Yeah, failed clear by the Seahawks. So it looks like this will in fact be a turnover in the ball going back to the Blue Devils.
And we've seen that a couple of times here today. Not failed clear specifically, but where Huntington is quickly up on the ball when it's back onto the Seahawks side of the field, pressuring, trying to force those turnovers. They've done it a few times here where they've knocked the ball free, scooped some GBs. That time they force a whistle for the failed clear, but Huntington not afraid to get aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely got to give credit to the Blue Devils on the ride as we see a save there.
Yeah, he's on the right foot, Matty Kammer. He's had a really, really good game, and just remember, he's class of 2027, sophomore goalie here for the Seahawks. They've definitely got a gem in the crease.
Yeah, no question. College coaches, they have Matty Kammer on their radar for sure.
He'll stay with the Seahawks. Good battle there, Roy Testa. He'll get it restarted by passing to Bauer. Bauer works it up top, 4:40 remaining. Burns for Bauer. Bauer winds, shoots. Trying to pick that top corner, just misses. And it'll go to the Blue Devils. Fallon gets it started, moves it over for Wands. Wands pass ahead, clear successful. Thomas Smith kicks the rock to McDonald, now at X. Cuozo. Blue Devils, again, crisp, quick ball movement. Till it gets to Klein, and he'll slow things down here. Cannonstein. Back to Klein. 45 on the shot clock. McDonald on the right side. Right, then spins left for Klein now. Kamenstein gets a pick left. Backs off. Now to Fox. Shoots and scores. Connor Fox. Huntington back on the board here in quarter number 4. Fox gets his first of the night and his 8th of the season.
And that goal by Fox, which was assisted by Kamenstein, that's going to lead to a Seahawks timeout as the lead just continues to grow for the Blue Devils. Now leading this one 13-5 with under 4 minutes remaining.
5 points for Kamenstein now. He's up to 3-2 here, Ellis. He's had a phenomenal night here as well.
Yeah, and again, just got to give credit to the Huntington Blue Devils for the way that they've played in this game. And we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, but just the balanced effort offensively. If we're just running through the stat leaders in this game tonight, you just said, Travis, Kamenstein, he's 3-2. McDonald with 2. Tommy Klein, of course, he leads the way with 6 points, 4 goals, 2 assists. You have a hat trick from Luca Cuozo. So they've just really shown the versatility of their offensive talent in this game, showing that it can come from a number of players on the field for the Blue Devils, showing just how dangerous this offense is.
You said it best. They're getting help from numbers across the board. You can't just pinpoint 1 or 2 guys. It's been a couple of guys for this Blue Devils side that have chipped in and helped out offensively. You look across the board, it's been a team effort defensively, making the stands and stops that they've made here throughout this contest. And we talked about at the beginning of this quarter, it started for them at the start of the game. From the very opening face-off, Huntington brought their A++ game tonight, Ellis.
Yeah, definitely. And also one other thing to note, because Cold Spring Harbor, they've kept Colin Lennon really quiet in this game. And Lennon, he entered this game tied for 3rd on the team in points. So, you know, like the way this game was unfolded, if you weren't covering this game and you saw the score, you'd think that, oh, okay, Colin Lennon probably had maybe 3 to 4 points, maybe even more in this game. But Lennon, just the 1 assist, and no knock on him. It's just the way that the game has transpired, which I think that has to make Huntington feel even better about the way this game has gone for them.
And Will Fallon going to come out of the game now, checking in Brennan Ackerman. And Fallon sworn by his teammates as he comes off, and Huntington scores another goal here, making it 14-5.
So the goals, they just keep on coming for the Blue Devils. Another one scored by Cuozo, giving him his 4th of the game.
He matches Klein now with 4. And Ellis, you said it, Huntington. Offense, defense, they have hit in every aspect of the game today, top to bottom. Face-offs, ground balls, transition. They've done everything exactly how Coach Watts has drawn it all up.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is definitely looking like it'll be a feel-good win for Huntington, their 2nd straight in this rivalry between the 2 teams. And, you know, if you're Cold Spring Harbor, you may be coming up on the short end of the stick here tonight, but as Coach Bond knows, and of course every player on that roster knows, there is still a lot to play for as we play out the remainder of the season. This is a team that's going for their 4th consecutive state championship, a very decorated and storied program here on Long Island. And if they're hoisting another state championship trophy at the end of this season, then of course they will absolutely sign up for that, regardless of what may have happened here tonight.
Another clear, successful for Parker Wands. He's been all over it here in this game. Believe we got an offside call there on the Blue Devils, so to go back here with Cold Spring Harbor. And yes, indeed, it was offside on Huntington, so 1:54 to go in this game, 14-5 the score. And else for Cold Spring Harbor, again, you drop this game tonight, not the end of your season, not the end of the world. Can be a game that you use as motivation the rest of the way out. You got 5 games left in your regular season before you hit playoffs. This could be your turning point to go in a direction that you soar, you take off from here. You look at this, you put a bookmark in it, you wash it away after a couple hours, you take your lessons and you take your lumps from it, but you build upon it. And that's what this game could be for Cold Spring Harbor.
Right, and now if you're the Seahawks and Coach Bond and your team, now you see how you respond in your next game. So their next matchup is coming up this Thursday, actually, May 1st. They'll be at Plain Edge to take on the Red Devils, and that's a team that's new to the Power Conference this year. But that's a great opportunity for the Seahawks to bounce back. And like we said, Travis, there's still a lot to play for down the stretch here in the season. So Cold Spring Harbor, it's about how you learn from this game and ultimately how you respond.
And, you know, Ellis, I will say, you don't often see teams win championships without having to battle a bit of adversity on the way there. And this certainly can be struck as an adversity type of game for Cold Spring Harbor, where, as we keep saying at Huntington, from the opening face-off, has just, again, not like they're a vastly better team than Cold Spring Harbor, just the execution tonight has been at a bit higher level than what the Seahawks have brought.
Yeah, absolutely. This Huntington, I think if you're the Huntington sideline, of course you got to feel great about the way you've played this game, because I think this is about as well of a game as you could have put together. Couldn't ask for much more than what you've gotten tonight, and this is a signature win, a statement win for the Blue Devils as they're getting ready to celebrate on the sidelines here.
Yeah, shot clock turned off here, just 20 seconds left. Blue Devils can hold on to this one, just burn the rest of the time. It's Christian Luca who has the rock. He'll just dribble a couple of steps closer towards his bench. 10 seconds to go. Continues to hold on to it now, takes a couple of checks, but he knows that this game's all but over. For the second straight year, the Huntington Blue Devils will take down the Cold Spring Harbor Seahawks in this rivalry matchup. 14-5, the final score.
So the cup remains with the Blue Devils for a second straight year.
And Huntington pick up the victory, and they'll improve their record to 9-1. And Ellis, we talked about this in pregame. For either of these teams, this could be a statement win that really lets the rest of the county know we're big players. You need to watch out for us in this final push as we get towards playoffs. And I think Huntington just put another check next to their name, another star. Teams got to watch out for these Blue Devils. They've come to play this season, and they're going to be big players the rest of the way.
Yes, definitely a measuring stick game for both teams, and a great win for the Blue Devils. There's certain games on the schedule that you have circled on the calendar. This is definitely one of them. So Huntington picking up their 9th win of the season, and now let's see how they continue to play down the stretch here of the regular season, with still a couple more tests on their schedule down the stretch here.
And as we talked about, Seahawks 5 games to go. They're taking on Plain Edge on Thursday, so you get a couple days here. Like I said, you bookmark this one, you have your takeaways, you take the good, you take the bad, the positive and the negative, you flush it away, you get ready for Plain Edge, and you try to battle back, take this adversity as you look to hunt down that 4th consecutive state championship.
Yeah, Cold Spring Harbor, they will definitely respond. Tough night here tonight for the Seahawks, but still a lot more games to be played down the stretch here. The Seahawks, they will bounce back, and they will certainly be heard from as we get down the home stretch here of the season.
So again, another great game. I want to thank you all at home for tuning in to this week's LILJ Gate Game of the Week. Once again, final score, Huntington 14, Cold Spring Harbor 5. On behalf of Wally Mitchell, Rowan Loddick, and Ellis Joshua, I'm Travis Quigley. Hope you all have a great rest of your night. And as always, we'll see you next time.